podcast, our third section. We'll be talking a little bit about news in today's society and just random shit that comes to our mind. Basically, just like open canvas, and we just talk about things. We'll let things flow. We have topics, but most of the time it's just flowing and just talking about anything that comes to our mind. But I know the big topic we wanted to bring up, because it happened so recently, I think it was only like 2-3 days ago, was and I know I'm gonna fuck up how you say his name. I still to this day I do not know how to say it, but I want to say it's XXX Tentacion, and his death. If you don't know, which if you don't know, you either one, living under a rock, or two, you just don't give a flying fuck about social media, which is perfectly fine. It's not like, I'm sitting here saying you should know about this guy, because personally, his death doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
His death doesn't affect me.
We really know about this guy.
We barely know about this guy, but we wanted to talk about it a little bit because just the way things have been going recently. Something I'm gonna bring up real quick, and it's a little off topic. It's coming to my mind right now, is a guy we went to high school with, and I played basketball with him for a little bit. I'm not sure how well you knew him, Alvin. I'm not gonna say his full name because of privacy due to it, but somebody we went to school with. I guess just to put in layman's terms, committed suicide. And, yeah. And it seems to be that in the last week or so, because this isn't the first person I've knew. I had a close friend that committed suicide. I'd say I think it's coming up on 3 years now. And somebody we know put it out on Twitter, and they made a really good point about you never know what somebody's going through at any point in given time, because when you're around friends, it's usually a happy time, so you don't really know what someone's dealing with.
Right.
And he made a good point to, even if you don't, because as a man, you feel like you show weakness whenever you talk about your problems. But he said that as a friend, he thought something like, "Hey man, how's it going? Everything good?" Would have went a long ways. And the fact that he brought that up, and I know this was one of his close friends. If I personally don't know, it could have been one of his best friends. But the fact that he brought that up, I thought was one. It's 100% true. I feel like as men we do feel like that. But as friends, we don't often check in like we should. So the reason why we're bringing up, this XXX death, and we'll be bringing up Vinnie Paul's death, which he was a drummer of Pantera, and we brought up Big Van Vader's death earlier in the podcast, is just a reminder to where, not every day is guaranteed, think of the next day as a blessing, as a gift. You're not always going to be here. So enjoy it while you're here. Enjoy the people that you love and that people you care about that are around you. Enjoy them, and just little things like that. So I know you wanted to talk about Vinnie Paul, the Pantera's drummer that passed away, and then a little bit about XXX and him getting shot. So, did you want to roll with Vinnie Paul's, or I'll let you speak on it. I'll let you go.
I mean, we go a little bit on X. I think when it comes to XXX Tentacion, I hear all these. I have to hear more of the news from my kids. Most of my kids, in their teenage years, so this is more their side of the music, and it's like, oh, they're telling me he was changing his life, he was going to do this and this and that for the better, and it's like, okay, well, you still have to account for all the not evil, but all the bad, negative you put out in the world. And unfortunately, whether this was part of it or not, wrong place, wrong time, whether it was robbed or whatever the case may be. It was. It's sad to see someone young have their life taken when they didn't really get the message, or they were really starting to get the message and it was too late.
Yeah.
But at the same time, let this be, a warning, or like a warning shot, or a moment of clarity for all these youngsters out here nowadays who use social media or the internet like some kind of gun, because they think they're so bold and hard and a gangster, because you're on social media posting something and they can't catch you because they're clear away on across country or in a different city, and it's like you're not bigger than these streets. The streets don't give a damn about how many YouTube followers or Instagram likes you fucking get. If you're out there popping shit about someone in the streets and it gets taken to that level, you have to be prepared to be sure that you're able to be accountable for what you said, or be accountable to defend yourself when the time comes when you have to be held accountable for what you said. So, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, I hope these youngsters learn a lesson from that. Take a chill pill. Don't be so quick to fly off to social media to air out their grievances or start talking their shit. Instead, try to woo-saw and ask yourself, is it really that
Is it worth
big
it?
of an issue? Is it worth it? Because obviously, we've seen what the end result was, even if he was trying to change his life up or not. We see
Yeah.
him slumped up in his Lambo, man.
Yeah,
It's not cool.
and like seeing that, like, I didn't agree with what he had done in the past. I wasn't a big fan of it. Like,
Right.
flat out, like, I'll be honest, I thought he was a bitch for doing what he did. Whooping his baby mama's ass when she was pregnant and all that shit. But I don't agree with that, and I never will. But um, for I guess he was either turning around his life or trying to do good, or was in the process of doing it. That was
Right.
good all by him. And then you just gotta think about it, at the end of the day, he was only 20 years old.
Yeah.
Anyone dying at 20 is just that's not cool. That's not right. Especially the way he did murder. It's not cool. So you know, uh, it's just a little thing I think we wanted to talk about, just so people get the gist of
Yeah, and
watch
the
what you say,
Pantera death is
watch how you act.
Pantera. The drummer was a little fresh to me. I got to do a little more info about him, but I've always liked Pantera. I've always been a fan of their music,
Yeah,
So
I don't know much about that death. I just know his name, and I believe he was only like 54.
yeah, he's
So
in his early 50s.
yeah, so I want to
50s
say it had to
is
be something.
euphoria.
Yeah, right. Seriously. Um, so a little bit out of you know, the dark and the down in the dumps type feels, you know. So out of the serious stuff, let's go ahead and
Yeah.
I want to bring up this clown because we were talking about uh, putting things on social media and saying shit that you know you may say some shit and people may take that very seriously, and some people, one, either don't give a fuck, or two, they have nothing to lose. So they may
Right.
go to drastic, just drastic measures to either one, kick your ass, or two, possibly kill you. And that's why I want to bring up this clown, Takashi 69. Now, when I saw that, the X had gotten shot, the first thing that came to my mind, and I hit up Alvin too,
Yeah, that's the
and
thing.
part of it's fucked up, but it's somebody beat me to it. Somebody went and Takashi put out something like, "Oh, they killing,"
Yeah,
and
they
somebody
killing.
replied to him, "Oh, don't worry about it. You next." And 'cause I guess he's in some beef with ASAP
Chief
Rock.
Everybody.
Is it with
Chief
ASAP
Keef,
or is it
everybody.
Chief Keef? I'm sorry.
Chief Keef.
See, I'm an idiot. It's with Chief Keef. Now, I guess basically he is on the run from Chief Keef. One, he also uh, what is it? Disrespected the Sureños in LA. Uh,
Really?
he's just, yeah, he's just doing a bunch of wild shit to where he needs to watch himself because, like, yeah, he may be trolling, yeah, he may be joking around or just being stupid in general, but there's people that are gonna take that shit serious, and he's it's not looking too hot. Like, You know? So my question is with the way kids love this type of shit now. Like what's that dude? Boonk or Boink? Boonk? Like
Doink.
Yeah.
yeah, like that
Yeah, doink.
dumbass got famous for making himself look like the fucking Joker, and two, recording himself stealing shit. Or like, running out of a barber shop, not paying for the fucking haircut, like shit like that. And and
Stupid.
and the sad part about, there's people that think that shit's cool.
Yeah, they think it's funny.
And it's like, at the end of the day, everything, it may be funny, but like, there's some kids that like take that shit to heart. Like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, that dude's hard. Like, fuck yeah, I want to be like him. No, fuck that. No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Yep.
So the fact those words right there are gonna bring up our list section of the podcast. You know
Before
how
we get
we.
into that, I got something to say about the Takashi thing and stuff.
Oh yeah, you've been kind of quiet on this whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about it is, like I always joke with my nephews, and I even tell my brother, anybody can get beat up, anybody can get socked up, and that's, and that's real because anybody can get touched at any point in time. Ain't none of us, you know what I mean? Like my brother say, ain't none of us bigger than the streets. Any of us can get touched. Any of us can get done. And that's like for real, like really, really, really. Anybody can get done at any point in time. And and the whole, Takashi disrespecting everybody. It's like, yeah, it's all fun and games to you. Yeah, you playing, but not everybody out here playing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's it. That's just how I feel about it. Yeah, you playing, but not everybody playing.
True.
Not everybody wants to play.
Yeah.
Not everybody
Yeah.
may want to play. You know.
But so with that being said and everything, and we're rolling off of oh, excuse me. We're rolling off of, when kids like, oh, I want to be like him, or I want to be like that. And you know what? Celebrities, it seems like a lot more celebrities are dying young, and just crazy shit's happening, in the world. So, our list section, because we have a list section in every single podcast that we're going to be doing. It'll be a top 5 or a top 10. And today's topic on it is your top 5 most influential celebrity deaths. And if do you guys want me to start on mine, or do any of you guys want to take the reins and run with it, or?
You can start. I gotta think on that. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta think on that a little bit.
Okay, so I did this one pretty quick. It may change if I actually do more research, but I just went off the top of my head, and I have like 5/6. I think there's two deaths that I think go together, and not in any order. My top 5 would be like one, and I'm gonna bring this guy up first, is Muhammad Ali. Him just dying brought more awareness to the type of person he was, the type of person you should be, what he did for one, his race and people of color in the whole world, and just
Right.
everything about him in general. It brought more awareness to how you should act, how you should fight for what you believe in, and different things of that sort. So he's on there for sure. I put these three women, these three women on here because they died tragic deaths, and I believe that they had an influence in it. And one would be Aaliyah. I have her on there. Princess Diana
Yeah.
and Selena. And I think Selena had more of an impact on like international crossing over to, I guess you could say, the U.S. type music. I forget how Evelyn worded it, but like it was like a crossover, crossing over different countries, and from Mexico to the U.S. and being successful in that. And I think her death, one, it was tragic, but it also it inspired a lot of, I guess you could say, like girls and women, even guys. It inspired them to you know, just do
Like
better
Tejano
things.
music, right? Like
Yeah,
Tejano
Tejano
music or something
music.
like
The
that.
culture.
All, yeah, the culture in general. Like, you know, she was. I think she was born in like Texas. She wasn't even
Yeah.
like. She didn't even speak Spanish, but she sang it beautifully.
Right.
And you know, just I thought she had her death was pretty influential on music in general. And then Princess Diana, just in the world, and she was a great person, great human being.
Yeah, a humanitarian.
Yep. And then my last two that go together, Biggie and Tupac.
Right.
Just the fact that with the East Coast West Coast beefs, both of them dying, I think not only did hip hop have an edge before that happened, I think it gave it an even bigger edge going forward. Um, just to this day, people are bumping Tupac and Biggie jams, and a lot of it, one, they made great music, but two, the way they died, I think, influenced the rap game even more. Because people out here rapping and singing about one, like they weren't gang banging when they died, but they got shot, and a lot of people fucking hype up that
That's
bullshit.
debatable depending on we talk about Pac. That's debatable, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I'm talking about when they got killed, though. Like,
Yeah.
like that moment in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my top five. I shouldn't have gone into much detail. I should have just said it and just ran with it. But enough rabbling on about me. Why don't you guys go with give me your list. Let's hear them. If you ain't got a top five, just shoot it off as just whatever you can think of.
Well, you stole a couple of mine with Princess Di, Tupac, and Biggie. So a couple I was also thinking was JFK. That changed the world. He was the first young president, first Catholic president, I believe. That was a big deal back then. That was a real big deal back then. And him being involved with Cuba, the Bay of Pigs, the beginning of the Cold War. It was a tragic day when he passed. I wasn't around, but all the older people remember the day that JFK died, exactly where they were, and things like that. So I would put JFK up there. I would put Elvis Presley up there.
Ooh, that's another one. Fuck, that's a good one.
Even though he stole a lot of his music, he still was an influence in rock and roll, even if you want to admit it or not. So I'd put him and JFK definitely up there. Those would be a couple of my guys. Like I said, you stole my thunder with Diana and Tupac and Biggie. So
okay.
If anything, I'll just add a couple right there that no one got mentioned.
I picked. I know. I want to say 3/4 of them had to do with music, but
right.
I picked
And
Princess
of course,
Diana
Martin Luther
because
King.
of a political. Yeah, Martin Luther King, JFK.
Martin
I would have
Luther King,
added
but to
them
me,
to
that's
it.
kind of like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try to stay away from them as much as possible
Right.
because like you said, low-hanging fruit. And then I only wanted to pick like one political figure, so that's why I picked Diana. And then I picked one athlete, and that's Muhammad Ali. But he was just a great humanitarian in general himself.
And you could technically put JFK Jr. there because once he died, that was kind of it of the Kennedy bloodline.
The little reign.
Yeah, because the way he tragically died with that plane crash.
Yeah.
Some people say that family was cursed.
That's true. Was it the only one that basically lived was Jackie Onassis?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know Maria Shriver is in the family. Ted Kennedy lived for a minute, even though he killed somebody by wrecking in a car crash.
Wait,
but he still
Maria
lived.
Shriver, isn't that the one that was married or is married to Arnold?
That was, yeah. She's a Kennedy.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Arnold's love child. Right, being in Bakersfield, not too far away.
And shout out to Arnold in general, because he dusted a predator, you know what I mean?
I'll be back. Get to the chopper.
And he saved Mars.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Thing.
All right, Alvin.
Hagen, they need more air.
Right. All right, Alvin, you've had enough time to make your list. What is it?
I only got like two, to be real, off the top of my head.
That's
to be
fine.
Like, completely honest.
That's fine, brother.
One I'm gonna go with is Eazy-E. Even
Okay.
though I think his music is extremely, extremely overrated. Anybody that feels different can debate this with me. Um, but his death brought a lot of awareness to AIDS, HIV and AIDS,
But I ain't
especially
gay.
in, right, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Especially in the heterosexual community, because, it was like a gay disease, but he was like, nah, dog, if you guys seen the movie, I ain't gay. I didn't what he said
Yeah.
verbatim, but, that's what I'm gonna say. So that's a thing, you know what I mean? I feel like that was an important, not, I don't want to call it death important, but that was a moment. Okay, this AIDS thing is real.
You could even put
So
what's his name, Freddie Mercury, with him as well.
wasn't he gay though?
I think so, yeah, but like
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
see,
for AIDS in
I mean the
general,
group.
though,
I
I'm
mean
saying.
the group he sung for is called Queen, guys. I mean, come on
right? You
now.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Uh,
So
and they're making
yeah,
it. They're releasing a
walks.
movie about it too. So
If it walks like a
Yeah,
duck.
yeah. I wanted to throw Easy up there as opposed to somebody else who, what I mean, I could do the dude from the real world up there too, but I picked Easy because because like I said, he was a straight African male, and you know how, well, I mean, Nick, I guess you'd know from the outside looking in, but Steph, you know how it is in the black community, dude. Like, we don't talk about things like that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't acknowledge, you know, AIDS and
Mental
mental
health.
health and things of that nature, which is
Right.
another topic for another time, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
And, another guy I picked was Steve Irwin.
oh yeah, okay, so, yeah.
Because
Oh,
that,
crikey, got me a
you know what I
stingray in
mean?
me
Like,
heart.
that's, oh, that's the crocodile hunter, bro. I ain't gotta say no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They dissed the crocodile hunter. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, that's the
he did
thing.
make animal videos and TV shows like that cool. So
Yeah, you know what I
shout
mean?
out
That
to him.
that was the crocodile hunter. So I was like,
I
wow,
mean,
they dusted that fool. You know what I mean? And another one I thought too, just kind of like a side note, just because I liked him a lot. Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Now I know that wasn't like world changing like Tupac or Biggie or anybody of that nature or even Easy E for that matter, but or not even as big as Big Pun maybe, but that is somebody that I like his music and I do listen to Mobb Deep all the time prior to his death. And I listen to songs. It's like, yeah, I kind of miss that cat, dude. I liked Prodigy, but that's neither here nor there. That's just kind of a shout out to Prodigy and Mobb Deep.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and just add this other part of the list because I know somebody else wanted to do it. But to take us away from the somber moods, the other most influential celebrity deaths that I wanted to get to for this list, one would be Tiger Woods' pro golf career.
Right.
Two
damn.
LeBron's real hairline. Rest in peace to that. Um,
Rest in peace to Dwight Howard's career.
we can go ahead and say Dwight Howard's career. Shout out to that. Greg Oden's knees.
Mm,
Rest in peace to those.
Bill
Um,
Cosby's career.
Bill Cosby's. Rest in peace to Bill Cosby's asshole in prison. Um, it's just there's so many
and
actors.
Larry
Larry
Nassar, whatever his name
Nasser,
is.
that piece of shit. Fuck you and rest in peace to your fucking asshole in prison. Um,
Shit, Jared from Subway, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, they've been
yeah.
dusting him up for a minute though.
Rest
They've
in
been dusting
piss.
him up, and they've been
Man, all
dusting
right.
up.
The last three we just named is not rest in peace. The last three is rest in piss.
Yeah,
Um,
and the dude in Penn State. What's his name?
Oh,
Jerry
Jerry
Sandusky.
Sandusky.
Sandusky,
Yeah.
fucking Sandusky, a piece
Right.
of shit. Yeah. So, man, we just went right back into somber shit. I was supposed to keep this funny. You guys, man, you ain't supposed to do that. But yeah,
Jerry
so
Sandusky.
so oh man, here. So just to finish it off, the very last one. Rest in peace to the San Francisco Giants. Your guys' franchise, your guys' dynasty, you want to call it, is dead. You guys aren't winning shit for another 56 years. So be happy with the three you got.
Man, but aren't the Dodgers on a dry spell, or am I kind of making stuff up?
Nah, they're in a dry spell, but it ain't 56 years, so that's all I'm gonna say.
All
Um,
right.
you know. But anyways, that'll conclude our last segment of the podcast. Um, before we say goodbye to you guys, I want to plug everybody's social media. your Twitch, YouTube, whatever it is you want to get out and throw it out there for the people to go follow you, or check out your content if you create it or whatnot. So Alvin, why don't you go ahead and shoot yours first? We'll send it to Steph, and then we'll shoot it right back around to me, and then I'll send us off.
All right. Well, you can find me on all social media at Shootin' Supreme. One word: SHOOTIN SURPE. Yeah, I kind of botched out. I was reading something, but Shootin' Supreme.
Shooting
Yeah,
Supreme.
I was reading something. My bad. My bad.
Pump, Steph.
All right. You can follow me on Twitch at ImpBleeze, Twitch TV/ImpBleeze. Follow me on Twitter.
Twitch.tv/
Twitch.tv/ImpBleeze. You can follow me on Twitter at ImpBleezy, and you can follow me on the IG at Instagram /ImpBleeze83.
All right. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
And one more. You could follow me on... No, I'm playing. I don't have nothing else. I'm just joking.
All right. You just had to give me that one last rib.
Yeah.
And then you can follow me on Twitter at Nick the Mook, on YouTube Nick the Mook, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Nick the Mook. My Instagram will probably be getting switched over to Nick the Mook pretty soon, so if you want to check that out, and that's what it is, it'll be there. Other than that, I will be creating a Twitter for the 3 Pump Podcast. So if you get followed by it and you happen to know us, do us a favor, follow us back. Give us a shout out, whatever. Help us out, help us grow. We'd appreciate it. We love you for that. And another thing, I will be uploading this podcast, this exact episode, to SoundCloud, Podbean, iTunes, and YouTube. So on every single one of those outlets, you can follow us.
And Pornhub.
Yeah.
God damn. At every single outlet that I just named, you can follow us at the 3 Pump Podcast, and just search us and you'll find us. Subscribe to us, follow us, whatever. Anything you can do, leave us a rating on iTunes. It'd be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the 3rd episode next week. Thanks. See ya.
#3PP.
#3PP. Pump.
Peace.